Some people are taught to fight, but for a very select few, violence isn't just a skill, it's an inheritance. Today, we're diving into a world where killing is a craft, something perfected over generations. So in the world of the anime Kengan Ashura, we meet the Kure Clan. For these guys, combat isn't about honor or self-defense. No, it's a family business, a tradition passed down, honing the human body into the most perfect weapon imaginable. It's violence as a pure art form. But then you look at our world and you see that same level of intense, lifelong dedication, but it's channeled into the complete opposite. Not to end a life, but to save it with unbelievable precision. And this sets up a really fascinating comparison, right? On one hand, you have this drive to perfect the body as a weapon. On the other, the drive to heal it. So today, we're going to explore these two different worlds of human mastery and see what they tell us about our own ambition to push past our limits. Okay, so let's start in the world of the Kure. This is a place that's all about innovation, where science and just sheer willpower are constantly redefining what the human body is even capable of. And this just shows you how far we've come. I mean, this is not science fiction. The Syncardia total artificial heart is a real thing. It's a mechanical pump that can literally replace a person's failing heart, keeping them alive while they wait for a donor. That is just an incredible feat of engineering. The scale of this kind of mastery is, well, it's staggering. Get this, by 2013, one single hospital, the Montefiore Einstein Center for Transplantation, had already done its 3,000th kidney transplant. 3,000 lives completely changed or saved by one procedure in one place. Now, here's what's really cool about this. Modern medicine, it's not a solo act. Saving a life, especially in really complex situations, takes a whole team of specialists, from obstetrics to cardiology to surgery, all of them working together perfectly. It's like a collaboration of mastery. And at the very core of all this is a really powerful philosophy. It's not just about the science or the tech. It's about a deep-seated mission to serve other people, driven by a social conscience. The real goal is to heal an entire community, not just one patient at a time. All right, let's totally flip the script now. We're shifting gears from a world that heals the body to one that hones it into the ultimate weapon. Welcome to the world of Kengan Ashura. In this universe, massive corporate deals aren't settled in a boardroom. Nope, they're settled in underground arenas. Instead of lawyers, giant companies hire these elite fighters to represent them in organized, bare-knuckle fights where entire corporations are on the line. And this insight from a fan about the main character just captures the whole philosophy perfectly. The hero fights, he loses, and he ultimately dies without ever becoming the number one guy. But there are no regrets. And that tells you everything. The struggle, pushing yourself to the absolute limit, that was the whole point. The journey was the reward, not winning. And the dedication to this fictional world is so real that fans have created their own extensions of its fighting styles. You've got the demon kata that pushes the body's power sources, the ghost kata for stealth. It's just this incredibly creative exploration of how to take the human form to its absolute destructive peak. So, okay, we've got these two totally opposite forces, one all about healing and preservation, the other about combat and destruction. But this is where things get really interesting, because in their own way, both worlds are really about one thing: upgrading the human. So look, on the left, you see our real-world augmentations, wearable tech that tracks our health, AI that can understand empathy, interfaces that literally connect our brains to computers. And on the right, you have these fictional techniques from the anime that grant superhuman powers. They seem worlds apart, but they're both about breaking past our natural limitations. Which, of course, brings up this really fascinating idea. As our own technology just keeps accelerating, you have to wonder, are the lines between what we can imagine in fiction and what we can actually achieve in reality starting to get a little blurry? Well, the answer might be closer than you think. Researchers at Tel Aviv University are actually developing a way to deliver drugs to the brain by, wait for it, hijacking a parasite. They genetically engineer it, and it then carries therapeutic proteins right past the blood-brain barrier. I mean, this is actual real-life biohacking, turning a threat into a super precise medical tool. So let's pull all these different threads together. Whether you're building an artificial heart, perfecting a martial art, or engineering a parasite, what's the fundamental human drive that connects all of them?
When you really get down to it, are these tools, one for incredibly careful healing, the other for precise destruction, are they just different expressions of the exact same human impulse? The impulse to achieve total mastery over something.
And what's so fascinating is that this drive to cure or to master a problem isn't just in medicine or combat. Research shows this same impulse is everywhere, from technologists programming genomes to geologists figuring out how to manage man-made earthquakes, even to lawyers trying to solve complex corporate battles. So at the end of the day, what this really shows us is that whether the challenge is a disease, an opponent, or a flaw in a system, the motivation underneath it all is the same. It's this deep, powerful, fundamental human drive to understand the rules, control the outcome, and push beyond whatever we thought was possible. And this entire journey of mastery, in all its different forms, leaves us with one last huge question. As our tools for both healing and harming get more and more powerful, as we keep augmenting our own biology, what's the end game? What exactly are we trying to become?